All right, let's just jump right in. What if I told you that one of the biggest things you believe about money is not just wrong, but it's the very thing holding you back from your financial goals? We're about to tear down a huge financial myth and replace it with a simple, powerful formula for what we call infinite cash flow.
So here's the real problem, right? Most people struggle their entire lives with money because they're playing by the wrong rule book. They've been taught to buy things they think are assets, but in reality, these things are silent wealth killers, making them poor with every single payment they make. So let's get this crystal clear. There are basically two definitions of an asset floating around. You've got the one on the left, the old school accounting definition, which is just stuff you own. But for what we're talking about, for building real, actual wealth, the only definition that matters is the one on the right, the cash flow definition. This is it. This is the only rule you need to burn into your brain. Say it with me. An asset puts money in your pocket. It's really that simple. If it's not generating income, if it's not putting cold, hard cash into your bank account month in and month out, it is not an asset. Period. And you guessed it, on the flip side, we have liabilities. A liability takes money out of your pocket. It's anything that demands payments, needs maintenance, or just constantly drains your resources. So the main takeaway is, if it doesn't pay you, then you're the one paying it. Okay, so now that we have our new definitions locked and loaded, let's use them to tackle the biggest financial sacred cow there is. The idea that the house you live in is your greatest asset. The truth is just sitting right there in the simple math. Your home, the place you live, demands money from you every single month. Between the mortgage, the property taxes, and all the stuff that inevitably breaks, this home is pulling almost $4,000 out of your pocket. It's not an asset. It's a liability that you just happen to live inside. All right, let's move on to myth number 2. Now, this one's a biggie. It's this temptation to look wealthy, which, ironically, is the absolute fastest way to make sure you never actually become wealthy. We call these things cash flow vampires. Think about it. Items like a brand new luxury car. Not only does its value just plummet, but it also literally sucks cash out of your wallet every month. Payments, insurance, gas, they just drain your financial lifeblood. And check out the immediate hit you take the very second you drive that $60,000 car off the lot. Poof, its value can drop by 10 grand or even more. That's a huge, irreversible loss before you've even made your first payment. And yeah, about that payment, you're now on the hook for $1,000 a month that's just gone. Just imagine for a second what that $1,000 could be doing for you if, instead of paying for a car that's losing value, it was out there buying an asset that actually makes you money. Okay, let's keep going because the big liabilities, the car, the house, they're kind of obvious. The ones that are really dangerous are the small, sneaky ones, the silent expenses. I like to call this death by 1,000 subscriptions. Just think about all the little cash flow leaks in your own life. All the streaming services, the software tools you barely touch, that gym membership you keep meaning to use, those buy now, pay later traps. Each one seems so small on its own, but trust me, together they create a massive hole in your financial bucket. And how big is that hole? Well, it's really not crazy for all those little leaks to add up to $500 a month. That's $500 that isn't working for you. That's money that could have been invested, money that could be buying you an asset that actually pays you while you sleep. Okay, enough with the problems. We've pulled back the curtain on the myths. So now let's build the solution. This is where we flip the script and get into the Monetrix wealth formula. And we'll see how the wealthy actually buy their luxuries without going broke. Now this right here is the whole ballgame. It's the most important mindset shift you can make. The typical way is on the left. You trade your precious time for money, and then you use that money to buy something that costs you more money, a liability. But the wealthy way, it's a complete game changer. You use your money to buy an asset first. Then you let the cash flow from that asset pay for the liability. You still get the toy, but you also get to keep the machine that makes the money. So how do you actually do it? Well, it's a pretty simple 3-step process. First, you get absolutely ruthless about lowering your liabilities. You gotta plug those leaks. Second, you take every single spare dollar you have and you aggressively buy income-producing assets. And finally, you just wait for the crossover point, that beautiful moment when the monthly income from your assets is more than your monthly expenses. That, my friends, is freedom. Let's just let this one sink in for a second because it perfectly captures everything we've been talking about. At the end of the day, it's not about how much you make. It's about what you do with what you make. It's about whether you use your money to buy things that cost you or things that pay you. Stop collecting stuff and start collecting income streams.
So, I'll leave you with this one last thought. A little challenge. Right now, wherever you are, just look around the room. Take a quick mental inventory of everything you see and ask yourself, is what I'm looking at putting money in my pocket, or is it quietly taking money out? The answer to that simple question, well, it's going to tell you everything you need to know about your financial future.